to go through a little bit of material on dividends and how they are paid to cash value life insurance policies. What's interesting about this is if I see a dividend rate of 6%, right, or whatever rate the company is paying, often the consumer or the policyholder thinks that's what I'm getting on my money, 6%, or whatever the rate is, which we know that's not the case, right? Whatever dividend rate I receive from an insurance company or that they declare, keep in mind that that is the gross rate that the company credits after the cost of insurance, mortality expenses, the whole 9 yards. So if I have a dividend rate of 6%, my net earnings might fall somewhere between 4 to 5% when I look at the returns year over year. So we always want to be aware of that. What's interesting, and we're going to kind of break this down a little bit today, is when I look at how dividends are actually paid on a cash value life insurance policy, my money can go where when I allocate it towards an account? Premium or cash? We say that in about every video. And we always want to put it with one of the 4 major mutual companies. What is interesting though, is if I design a policy properly, meaning I put 10% into premium and 90% into cash, what's going to happen? That's going to give me the maximum cash value on day one and often throughout the life of the policy. I'm going to have more money. All right, so that's the main takeaway. If you don't want to go into details, that's really all you need to know. However, often when one looks at an illustration, they're presented policies with higher base premiums, and the reason behind that is an advisor or agent will say, well, you've got a higher dividend payout over here. We're going to show an example in this, a spreadsheet. But what I want to highlight here is when you look at how insurance companies actually pay dividends on life insurance policies, the formula used on base premium dollars is more favorable, meaning you're going to see a higher payout, especially initially, than what they will pay on cash. Now, here's the thing you kind of want to look at is, yes, the company might come to me and say, okay, we want you to put money into premium, so what we're going to do is pay you a larger dividend on premium. What happens though with my premium or insurance expense dollars? Where do they go first? The death benefit. Nothing shows up in cash. So they are going to pay me a higher dividend, but I'm going to have less to work with. So I'm getting a higher rate, but on less money. Versus these dollars, they go straight into cash, my PUA rider, and what happens? It's there, boom, starts earning interest for me, picking up the pace. Lower rate, but on a larger bucket of money. So we're going to pull up a spreadsheet here, and what you're going to see is the option where I get more money into cash will initially have a lower dividend rate declared and illustrated by the company, but more money, right? You want to be interested in more cash value. Who cares about the dividend as far as my net returns are higher? That's what I want. Let's demonstrate. Ready for this, Cheyenne? All right. So what we've got here is the example to the left. All base premiums. Remember those videos and the examples where we say, hey, this is a great example of what you don't want to do. This is it. 40-year-old male pays in 20 grand. How's that cash look the first year? You want that? No, I don't want it either. Better than a zero, 650 bucks. It takes 11 years. He pays in a total of 200 grand. 11 years into it, he finally has a gain. He's over 50, right? It's too long, really. If you want to be able to use the money, that's taking too long. Now we've got highlighted here, in this dividend column in yellow. You're going to see why. We've got the 50-50 example here. I don't really need to look at that. Let's just compare this to the proper way to design policies. 10-90 split. 10% insurance premium, 90% cash. What happens right off the bat, that's obviously more attractive. I pay in 20, I have 17.5 versus paying in 20 and having 650 bucks. Like, no brainer. Now also, instead of year 11, my break-even point, or when I'm positive, is year 4. Substantially more money up front, much better break-even point. By age 50, I had 205, call it 206, versus here $260,000. And what's important to note here is this is the same insurance company, same product, same interest crediting rate. Everything's the same except for the policy design. Now what I want to highlight is, let's look at year 2 here. My dividend payout here is $870. My cash though is $37, almost $38,000. Versus year 2, my dividend payout here is $5,400. That's much higher. Right? Kind of how you see the marketing and how insurance companies work is the dividend payout is much more attractive on the example to the left. However, the cash value is much less attractive. I've got way less money. Right? So the way to kind of look at it is, do I want this higher dividend? This looks very nice on paper, but not to say that column's not important. What I want to look at, again, my green column, my net cash value. That's the money I have access to anytime. That's the money that starts to compound right away. I want to know how I can drive that up. And while the dividends look stronger initially, eventually the example on the right overtakes it. And if we scroll down here, right, you're going to see at no point in time does the other example ever overtake it. By year 30, dividend payout $29,697 in cash versus over here $550K. That's a big difference. Almost 150 grand with the same insurance company, same crediting rate, same out of pocket by the consumer. I just redirected, reallocated where my money went. Right? So sometimes dividends will look shinier with the higher base premium. And the reason for that is companies do give preferable treatment to base premium dollars. However, when you look at the net value at the end of the day, it doesn't make much difference. Right? That dividend, doesn't matter, because if I get more money in the cash, what's going to happen? More money from day one throughout the life of the policy.